It could be you, so start today. For more information, please visit nedbank.co.za, call or send us an email. See money differently. Nedbank.
Welcome back. You're still watching Nedbank Business Watch. Thank you for staying with us. We want to take a look at the market's performance this afternoon, this Wednesday afternoon. We're joined by Head of Treasury at Nedbank, Bongani Mabuza. Very good afternoon, Mr. Mabuza. Thank you for joining us. One would expect the rand to be strong today, considering that Ramaphosa, there was inauguration for President Ramaphosa. How's the rand performing this afternoon?
Thank you so much, Lulu. Good afternoon to you, and good afternoon to your viewers. It's a real pleasure to be here. You're right. The rand is quite strong. We have seen the rand rally to a level of below 18 rand to the dollar, which is the strongest it's been in a couple of months. And this is after the election and after the formation of the government of national unity, with the ANC partnering with the Democratic Alliance as well as the Inkatha Freedom Party to form a government. The inauguration was today, and we expect a cabinet to be appointed soon. So we will see what happens after that. But the rand, there's a lot of positive sentiment, positive investor sentiment as a result of that. With the rand having rallied, we started the week, as an example, at around 18.27 rand to the dollar, and we're currently strong around 17.98. It's strong against all the major currencies. It's at 19.34 against the euro and at 22.89 against the pound.
So when can you start seeing changes to the rand?
Thanks. I think at present there is risk-on sentiment. The rand rallying to below 18 and staying at those levels, at those strong levels. We will see changes once the cabinet has been appointed and once the agenda for the new government has been set, and we expect then to see markets start to react to that.
Yeah, all right. Let's move on to commodities. I see that gold is still doing quite well this week since Monday. It's still trading at $2.3 US. Take us through these figures.
Thanks. So gold was at $2,329 per ounce, and the Brent crude was at $85.34 per barrel. Both were little changed, but we have seen gold steady after edging higher in the previous session, and I think this is a result of fresh U.S. data, which is giving mixed signals on when the Federal Reserve in the U.S. is likely to pivot on its monetary policy.
Yeah.
So we expect markets to be mindful of that, and we're seeing gold steady as a result of that.
Okay. So when we look at equities, how are they performing today? The S&P 500.
Yeah. Thanks. The S&P 500 was performed well yesterday, and was up about 0.25%. And what happened there was really, it was driven by technology companies, with NVIDIA in particular being up about 3.5% yesterday to overtake Microsoft and Apple to become the most valuable company in the world for the first time. And the rest of the AI related companies within the S&P 500 followed suit, and they lifted the index up as a result. The story was the same from a FTSE perspective, which was up almost 0.2%, and from coming closer to home, the JSE All Share Index was up about 3.5%, which is a very, very strong performance. And this is the same story that you're seeing from a rand perspective, with a lot of risk-on sentiment or positive investor sentiment around South Africa. It was the JSE All Share Index was up almost across the board.
Yeah, speaking of South Africa, I want us to go back a bit on South Africa. The SA Reserve Bank is considering lowering its interest rates. What could this mean for Eswatini?
Thanks. So I think I'd want to maybe talk about two things there, Lulu. So one is the interest rate expectations from a South Africa perspective. The markets are pricing in at least one cut in interest rates later this year.
Yeah.
And I think the positive sentiment we're seeing from a South African perspective are just putting strength to that expectation. But markets, the caveat is that markets reprice, they price and reprice as they get new information. So we will see how that evolves. Secondly, the South African Reserve Bank has stated that they are considering reviewing their monetary, their inflation target. You would know that the inflation target of the South African Reserve Bank is currently 3 to 6%, and they are considering lowering the inflation target.
Okay.
There are no set timelines as yet in terms of when this exercise can be expected to be complete and what the outcome of it will actually be. But if we do have a lower inflation target from a South African perspective, it might have interesting consequences from a local monetary policy perspective. So I think it's just something we will be staying close to.
So it could have
and
implications on the local monetary.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah.
All right, so thank you so much. Thank you, Mr. Mabuza, for that analysis on today's financial markets. Let's take a break. That's where we close the show with LinkedIn.